Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with my second layout using my Hip Kit Club kit. Ooh, I got it right that time. Okay, so I am pulling out photos from the beginning of July for 2015. The very first layout I did with my Hip Kit Club kit was a page at the end of this month, but I'm actually doing a page from the beginning of this month. And as my usual title card will look, it includes an Ellie Studio calendar card from 2015. I just like the consistency of that. Sometimes, most of the time, I use the calendar part of the card and cut off the like notes portion of it at the bottom. But sometimes I cut it apart completely and use just like the month and the year kind of thing. So anyways, I'm going to use just the calendar part of the card as my usual look does. I am going to use, I think, the remaining, most of the remaining 4x6 cards here. I am using that kind of mosaic one at the top under my title card, and I'm going to use that heart mosaic one right there of the photo of me and Ernest. And I have this one that's like a memo at the bottom, but I'm going to end up taking that out and just use a piece of white cardstock and piece together a 3x4 card with my 3x4 photo. Actually, two 3x4 cards, and then my photo will be on top of one of them. And since I want to include that white border around, I will trim down the cards that do not have a white border already and just make sure that there is a small white border on all the 4x6 pockets. Now, since these photos are from the 4th of July, I went ahead and pulled out the Olympic. I had two little sampler packs from Pop Fizz, Pop Fizz paper. I was going to say Pop Fizz Studios, but that's not it. It's Pop Fizz paper. I had purchased their planner kit earlier this year. I think it was in July, or maybe it was June, as an advertisement for July. But they had, she gave me two Olympic like samplers, and I'm using those on my 4th of July photos here. We didn't have a ton of photos from the 4th of July, but I did have these cute little ones of Kaylin playing with sparklers. It was his first time ever playing with sparklers, and of course he loved it because this is my child and we like fire and dangerous things. So he had fun, and I took two of those pictures and included them there, and I'm going to use one of those like red, white, and blue stickers on that card. Kind of getting the basis of this layout down. The only like memorabilia pieces that I'm including this week are for the two cards with the movie tickets on it. So Ernest took Kaylin to the movies one day when I was at work, and they loved it so much that we decided to go that next weekend as a family. So the photo, or the pocket with the two movie tickets, which is this one right here, that was when he took him to see Inside Out at the theaters. And then there is another one, this one with the 3 tickets, and that's when the 3 of us went to go see the Minions whenever it came out, and we went to the same movie theater there. And I am going to add the journaling at the end, and you won't see it, I don't think, in the video, but if you look at the photos at the very end, you'll see that I made a note on those two cards. I put all 3 of us on that card to the left with the 3 tickets, and then I put Kaylin and Daddy just on the card with the 2 tickets. Now, I'm kind of using some little bits and pieces here. I just like to take the little slivers that I cut off of the cards and reuse them if at all possible. So I've got a little pile of those accumulating there, and I'm just trying them around a couple different pieces around the layout. The only one that's really going to make it on this layout is the one at the very bottom of the picture of Kaylin sitting on the basketball with a towel over his head. So I just kind of layered a little bit of that under there. Sometimes it helps be a grounding mechanism for embellishments or photos or something like that, and that's exactly what the case was there. Since it's the 4th of July, I just used the 4 wood veneer and then used the gold alpha puffy stickers to write the T and the H for 4th. Going through that embellishment package to see what else I want to include, and I just basically made a pile and started flipping through the pile. And if they didn't work, if the if the item didn't work, I just continued to put it in the pile above, and then if it did work, I just laid it right on the page. This is the easiest way for me to embellish. I know people love to work card by card, but my brain cannot handle that. I try that, but my brain cannot handle it, because sometimes I can't make a card look exactly the way I want it to look, and sometimes I need to play around with other things in order to see what looks good. So I have to kind of do the whole thing at one time. It's just the way my brain works. It's the way I am creative, and it works for me. So that's what I do. I will probably not do card by card ever. You may see it every once in a while, but I truly doubt that I'll do card by card. I like to work on the whole thing because I like to be able to see how the embellishments spread across and how they balance. I really wanted to use this planner sticker that is Olympic themed. I really wanted to include it on that card with the sparkler, and so I layer it right there. It's very simple and very basic, and truly it doesn't even make that big of an impact, but to me, I just wanted to make sure I included it. So I'm going to layer this banner on top that says to do, and then I'm going to use some Kaiser Craft little tiny mini alpha tiles to put sparklers on that card. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of little tabs piled up at the top of the page. I wanted to put a tab there, and I didn't know which one I wanted to do, so I just piled up all the tabs out of the kit and just have them sitting there. Eventually, I'll get back to it, and I'll pick one. And I will say I glued it, but after the fact, it kept kind of popping up, so I had to go back and staple that. That is not on camera, and that is not on the photos at the very end, but I had to staple it because it just kept popping up. Using these mini alpha stickers, like I said, to put sparklers. These little mini alphas are really cool for captions on Project Life, because you could probably write a whole paragraph with those things on a Project Life card and it not look crazy because they're small and you can use them and they're really nice. I have a lot of embellishment going on this page, but it's all kind of flat, so it's not too overwhelming, and none of the stuff is too big. The biggest things are the bicycle on the top, which is so incredibly cute and has absolutely nothing to do with this page, but I just thought it was really cute. It was a really nice decoration to put on my title card. I really like the way that it looks. But most of the embellishments are small, and they don't make a giant impact. So, and they're all from the same collection, so they really kind of match. I'm doing my best to spread things out and not have too much of one thing in one spot. So I used just the very end of that banner. I like to also cut up my embellishments, as you can see, and get as much use of them as possible. I could definitely have used the whole banner, but I just needed a little something right here, so I made sure that when I cut the banner off, there was still, the other part of the banner was definitely usable. So this envelope, I'm not really using as an envelope. I'm just using it as a place to put a little bit of journaling, and then I'll overlap that floral on top of where that heart is, so you can't even really tell that it's an envelope when it's on my page. But what I'm going to put is one cool haircut, because Kaylin had just gotten his haircut, and he's got a cool part going on in his hair, and of course you could tell he's feeling himself because he's just got this this grin on his face. So I wanted to include that, so it just has one cool haircut. I'm adding a floral right there, and then I'm adding the other part of that banner, and that banner, that's the one that I had cut part of it off, and so it says today's the day. Okay, so funny enough, the hardest embellishment that I've had the hardest time using so far are those chipboard hearts. They have a little bit of a cream tone to them, so I don't necessarily feel like they match very well. I'm going to use a couple of them on this spread, but I definitely feel like those are the least, I was going to say matchy-matchy, but it's not really matchy-matchy, the least coordinating thing in this kit. Which is really funny because I thought those were going to be probably my favorite embellishment to use. My favorite embellishment to use has been this die cut pack. Love it. Like, so love it. But I really thought that it was going to be those chipboard hearts. And I apologize if you can hear Ernest snoring. He is getting louder and louder and louder. He's asleep down on the couch while I'm up here recording this in my loft. So I really hope you can't hear that. But if you do, he's just snoring downstairs. Of course, he's going to love that is on my channel. But, hey, life is life, and that's what we do. I'm taking that other floral up here at the top, and if you can't tell, it has gold foiling on those florals. A lot of the die cuts from this pack had gold accents, and those florals are actually outlined in gold. And then these are those chipboard hearts that I was saying. I'm using them in a couple different places. I'm trying to use the basic patterns the most. But yeah, totally was struggling because I felt like they really don't match. I've used them a few times, as you can see. I used them, I think, in both layouts, the last one and in this one. I'm really going to try, I haven't started layout 3 yet, but I'm really going to try to do, oh, by the way, that's that tab that keeps popping up, so I have to add staples later. I'm really going to try to do 4 layouts with this kit. We'll see how much I can accomplish, but I'm definitely going to get 3, but I'm hoping I can get 4. I feel like there's enough left to be able to get 4. You can see all the Project Life cards spread out there to the right. There's 4 vertical, no, 3 vertical, 4 horizontal cards. So we'll see what I can actually make work. Again, I'm pulling out those fun little enamel dots. Loving them, loving them, loving them. They're definitely going to be killed by the end of the time that I'm working with this kit. All right, so I'm pretty much done with this layout except for my journaling, which I'm actually going to do off camera. I'm having some issues journaling on camera here recently. I don't know if I just feel like I'm on display or what, but I find it easier for me to journal after I turn the camera off. So the journaling is in the final photos if you'd like to see it. Basically, I'm just writing what happened, and it says when it took place, the beginning of July, what we were doing, movies ×2, July 4th with sparklers, and basketball time, who was there, Kaylin, Mama, and Daddy, and then reason we did it, because we wanted to. And then, like I said, I put the captions on the movie tickets, as you can see here. All right, that finishes up. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this page. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and hit that subscribe button if you are not already a subscriber. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye.